Hey guys, it's me, Chasey Poo, and today I'm wearing this hat. Okay, my hair is just a mess, and I'm talking about sexuality and stuff, and I just want to look good for you. Okay, I just want to look good for you. Alright, how's it going today? Today we are talking about how to accept your sexuality. So, mini story time in the beginning of my life and my experience with my sexuality. Accepting myself was so hard because I realized that I liked girls when I was 12. So this is 2003, okay? And there was like no representation, there was nothing, and I didn't know anyone who was gay. I did not know that it was okay for girls to like girls, and I didn't know that I could be happy and accepted being who I am. So I'm gonna say luckily we are now in 2018 and a lot of parents and people and friends and people and there's representation and stuff like that. It's easier to come out and accept yourself. All of this in quotations because not everyone's experience is the same, but from what I have seen, there are a lot of people who are able to come out and have a lot easier time right now, which is really great because I literally did not know that we could be different and that would be okay. I thought that if you're different, that's bad. So I'm really glad that we live in a world now where there's so much representation. Even if your friends and your family and your school don't accept it, at least you know that there are people like that that exist. I guess that's what I'm trying to say, because it's not easier, but you know that people exist. So for me, I didn't know those people existed. I didn't know that those feelings were okay to have. So it was really, really hard for me to accept myself. And I remember when I was in grade 7, I told one of my friends, I think I'm bisexual. And she was okay with it. She's like, oh, my brother's gay, that's fine. I was like, oh my God. But then my other friend was like, that's disgusting, and she walked away from me. So if that doesn't put you back in the closet, I don't know what does, but that did, surely it did. Here's the thing, I knew that I liked girls, and I did not know if I liked boys. And I feel like back then, I feel like you had to cling to a label, and I feel like that's the same today, and I'm gonna explain why I think that. So when I finally was able to accept myself as a like a lesbian, like a woman who loves, oh my God, that's just weird to say because I'm no longer this, but when I accepted my lesbian identity, it felt very good, but I was still very shy about it and didn't want to tell people about it. So I guess what really helped me, honestly, and I know that you're gonna laugh, but it's literally the L word. Because I came out around the time that the L word was, I think it was like season 2 of the L word, and that really, 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 really helped me. Honestly, because I saw someone who liked girls on TV, and I was like, I'm a person who likes girls. And I'm not on TV, but that's me. But then, hunties, that's not even the end of the saga. Sega? Saga. Sega is the game. Saga is the Twilight Saga. When I came out as trans, I was like, I still like women, so I guess I don't know how to identify myself. I'm a lesbian. But here's the thing, okay? I feel like I have repressed so much of who I was because I wasn't happy with how I was presenting, and I wasn't out as trans, and people did not see me as male, that I felt like I was repressing so much that when I came out and I was finally able to be seen as who I am inside, and I felt so comfortable with my body, I was able to say, yo, you know what, I actually also like men. So I like men and I like women, and I also like people who are in between and people who have no gender. Also, it literally doesn't matter to me because people are people. So for me, it was a very interesting thought to have. But I want to go back to like accepting your identity. So there's this thing where it still happens. I'm like, come on man, we're in 2018, can we just figure this out? So I feel like once you identify as a lesbian, and you can never go back. Like, you can't be like, oh, I actually like men. Because if you do that, people are like, oh, you're bisexual, you're pansexual. I feel like there are a lot of people in the lesbian community that like squint at you, like, oh, you went back to men. And it's so weird. Even your family and friends, it's like, well, you made this huge thing, you made this huge thing about being a lesbian, and now you're not a lesbian anymore, and you don't like women anymore, and you made us change all of these things about us, and it's just like a weird place that we're in. And I feel like that was a big thing when I was younger, and it's still a thing now. Like, oh my God, like that was like 15 years ago, Jesus. Oh my God, I'm old. Oh my God, Elwood is like 15 years old? Jesus Christ. So the reason why I felt like it was important to mention that is because when I came out, my dad and my stepmom assumed that I still only wanted to be with women and I wanted to be with lesbian women. And that was really confusing when I told them that the person that I'm dating is like a straight girl or something like that. Like they were like, I don't understand. Like they couldn't wrap their mind around how a straight woman could be with me. So that was a really weird place to be in, honestly. Or like 2 years ago when I was seeing a guy and I like told them that I was seeing a guy, they kind of like squinted and they were like really confused and they were like, he's gay? And I was like, yes, he's gay. And I guess they were like, but how can a gay man be with you? And it was just like, it's weird because it's like they expect you to like women forever, and it's like, well, now that I'm comfortable, I can actually express who I am, and I'm actually more comfortable being with whoever and whenever and whenever. Basically, the moral of the story is to accept your own sexuality. I'm kidding, but for real, you need to not cling on to labels. I feel some people love labels, some people need labels, absolutely. But if those labels that you are clinging onto are hurting you and hurting the people around you, that's not a good thing. Like if you're like, no, I'm going to identify as a gay man, and you are clinging onto that identity because that's how you feel inside and that's how you are. But then you're like, oh, I kind of have feelings for women, I don't know what to do. But you're like, no, but I'm a gay man, I can't have feelings for women. Then that's very harmful to you because you're not expressing the feelings that you're having inside, and you're allowed to express and go outside of this label that you or other people have attached to you. And for such a long time, I didn't think I was able to do that, and I was literally like in the shadow, like literally in the shadows. Like I was like, oh, I've told everybody that I like women, so I can only be with women, but I was like, but I really want to experiment and like see what it's like to be with men. So I was like, rat-tat-tat-tat on Craigslist, don't do that, and Craigslist, and like meeting people and like on Grindr and stuff, not really telling anyone, until eventually I was like, I can't keep this a secret. I'm having a lot of fun. I'm like enjoying my body. I'm enjoying the people that I'm with, even if it's men, even if it's women, even if it's non-binary, it doesn't matter. Even if it's non-binary people, it doesn't matter. And it feels great and empowering to be able to use my body and express my sexuality in different ways where it doesn't matter who I'm with. So I wanted to get out of this shadow. Literally though, I was in the shadow. Like it feels like I was like, because it was all at night and it was secret, no one knew. I was like, oh, what are you doing tonight? Oh, nothing, I'm busy. Oh, what am I doing? But now I want to tell you about a little sexuality crisis that I had, that was really interesting because you hear me, I'm this like super open person, doesn't matter, but I think because I'm so used to being seen as queer, and I've been used to be seen as queer and being with men and stuff like that, and like everyone assumes that I'm gay, which I don't really care, like whatever. Even though I like women, I feel like to be attracted to women is a beautiful thing, and to be attracted to anyone is a beautiful thing. But I feel like because I'm so used to be seen as queer, that if I was with a woman, I would feel slightly uncomfortable in the beginning, only because I am so queer and I want to remain queer. But this was a crisis I had a couple of months ago, okay? I will tell you now that I realized that it does not matter who I'm with, whose hand I am holding, because I will be queer no matter what. Alright, I don't care what other people think. I don't care. People still assume I'm gay. They'll look at the person and be like, you know your boyfriend's gay, right? Which is funny to me because it's just funny because I'm with this person, that's who I'm with. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that makes any sense, but that makes a little bit of sense for me. I'm being a little vague right now, but whatever. So yeah, so really just, it's like, it's nonstop for me. Sorry that's a little bit vague, I know it's a little bit complicated and confusing, but if you want me to elaborate, I guess ask me in the comments and I'll talk about it a little bit. But I feel like even though I'm a super open person, I still had a problem with looking straight because I've been looking queer for such a long time. So that's really interesting to me. But like I said, I don't really care anymore. I've like gone to a place where I don't really care, and also, why do I care what other people think about me? You know what really matters is how I perceive myself. So I don't know if I actually really gave you advice on how to accept your sexuality, but really just do you. You don't have to cling on to labels. You could just say that you are queer, you could just say that you are straight, you could just say that, I don't know, you could literally say, you could literally say, I don't know my sexuality, I don't know who I'm attracted to, maybe I'm not attracted to anyone, maybe I'm asexual, who knows? So yeah, let me know what you think in the comments and I'll talk to you later. Have a great week, bye!